It's been a dream 2023 League 1 BC season so far for the Victoria Highlanders, and today they look to continue to battle for first place in the standings. They take on expansion side Harbourside Football Club from Nanaimo in their second ever matchup. It's Canada Day long weekend matchup from Vancouver Island, Harbourside Highlanders next. This is a League 1 BC featured match on YouTube and Telesoptic TV. Good afternoon. Welcome to the University of Victoria and the beautiful and historic Centennial Stadium. I'm your match commentator, Gideon Hill. Today's matchup features two teams on opposite sides of the League 1 BC standings. Harbourside, the expansion team for this 2023 League 1 BC season, at the bottom of the standings. Meanwhile, their opposition today, the Victoria Highlanders, come into this match looking to go top, again, level with the TSS Rovers, who won 3-0 on Friday in Kamloops against Rivers FC. Should be a big match for both teams as Harbourside look to finish strong and the Highlanders look to go back top of this League 1 BC season. Before we get to the team news, let's hear from both coaches with our sideline reporter, Gurpreet Cambo.
Last time you played Harbourside, it was a close game, but it was a 1-0 win. How confident do you feel this time?
Well, I think every opponent in this league is a worthy adversary, and we have to be at the top of our game. We're doing well in the standings, but this is a good team. They've caused us grief in the past, and I think they'll do the same today.
Okay, and so, yeah, your team is doing quite well. You're in second place in the standings, and so you're actually tied at 20 points with the Rovers, the first place team. So what does that mean to you at this point in the season with about 4 games left?
I mean, really, they're all must-win games. Rovers is a top team, and they seem to continue to win, and we're hoping to give ourselves a chance going into that last game of the year here against TSS Rovers if we're both sitting equal. So these are all must-win games, and we have to approach it as such.
Thank you so much, side coach. So your last game playing against the Highlanders, it was a really tight one. You guys lost 1-0. What's your strategy going into this one?
Similar strategy in terms of we don't want them to just go out and do what they do in terms of trying to dictate the game. Obviously, we're going to try and upset them in their flow. Try and keep their danger men at bay and, put our best foot forward.
And so there's about 4 games left. Your team is in 7th place, right? And it is still possible for you guys to make the playoffs. So what do you guys think? Like, what's your strategy, or how are you guys going to try to make that happen?
Yeah, game to game, we're not really thinking about that, to be honest, because, it's a building year, it's a growing year. I think we've all realised that. So we're just taking it game by game, focusing on the environment, the process, and just doing it week to week.
Thank you so much.
No problem. That was it.
My thanks to Gurpreet Cambo for catching up with both coaches before this afternoon's game. And yes, big ones for Harbourside as they head to the tail end of their inaugural League 1 BC season. The Victoria Highlanders, meanwhile, can go back top of the League 1 BC standings today, or tie the TSS Rovers for that matter, after the Rovers were victorious a couple of days ago in the interior. 2 big matchups, and the Highlanders feeling it right now. They've won each of the last 2 games after a big one over the team from Notsamot last week at Thunderbird Stadium, a 2-0 decisive win over Mike Mosier's Notsamot FC. And Harbourside, meanwhile, having a challenging season, just won 1 of their prior 10 games. We're looking to turn the tides today. They make 4 changes from the roster that played last week in Victoria, rather over in Kamloops against Rivers FC. It was a 3-2 loss at the hands of Rivers as Bahari and Bagiopoulos were the goal scorers in that game for Kevin Lindo's Harbourside FC. You just heard from the VIU Mariners men's coach when he's not coaching Harbourside. Highlanders in the white this afternoon, moving from left to right. Harbourside in the dark blue with the light blue shorts and the dark blue socks here as the Highlanders control off the outset into the Harbourside half. A good read there by Gregor Smith, who was very strong last week in setting up the goal for Michael Henman. Smith up this near touchline. Back to Caden Rogozinski. one of my men of the match last week. Hedman eventually got the Gatorade Performer of the match in that game against Notsamot, but Rogozinski right up there. And talked to Steve Simonson earlier this week. We'll talk about it throughout the broadcast, but his team plays a 3-4-3 formation, very defensively solid. Warm day here on the island, 20 degrees at kickoff. Feels a little bit warmer than that with the sun right on the pitch there, but the players are going to have to acclimatize to this kind of weather as we end into this last month of the regular season here before the finals in early August. Going to the near touchline for Harbourside. Matt Marassa, the veteran of the number 9, the captain for this Harbourside team, trying to play to the back for Charlie Purcell. Now Ambrose Tinmouth. Jordan McKinty finding Gordon Hall. Now Purcell in the midfield. Finding Bagiopoulos. Switched out to this near side, and speed on the outside here for Harbourside through Callum Magog. Now Daniel Zadravic will have it in control here for the Highlanders towards half. Up there is Marassa, heads it down, but right to the foot of a Highlander, Jonathan Walter, who capitalized in a great goal last week for Highlanders against Notsawan. Here's Sagast into the 18 of Harbourside, back across for him, and might fall to Walter, who slides it in. Perfect goal for Jonathan Walter, top corner. Perfect start for the Highlanders as well. 2 minutes gone, and it's 1-0. Beautifully worked goal by the hosts here this afternoon as Walter smashes it top corner. Weird tried to push it away, but it found the top corner for Javier Sagast here in the 2nd minute officially for Javier Sagast. And for Jonathan Walter off the setup by Sagast. Just perfection here from the Highlanders. As it all started with a goal kick from Zadravic into the Harbourside half, caused a lot of problems. Marassa's header wasn't fully away. And Sagast fed Hedman. Nice little turn of the 18. Always dangerous Hedman. Back out wide for Sagast, who pulled it back for Walter in a class left-footed finish from the MRU Cougar, his 3rd of the year. And then Highlanders perfectly ahead here on this Sunday afternoon long weekend. Beautiful finish from Jonathan Walter. Just the 2nd Highlander to have multi-goals this year alongside Hedman. Hedman on the year for the Highlanders has 4, so Walter 1 behind there. But what a start for Steve Simonson's Victoria Highlanders here this afternoon. A perfect job setting up Walter from Zadravic, Hedman, and Sagast by committee. Zadravic surveys his options out to the wide left area for Sagast, and he'll volley it out to the wide area for Hagon Kim, who was excellent last weekend against Notsamot. Last final feature match of the season for these two teams. Harbourside opened it up against Unity in their first ever game. It's a draw on the day against the Langley-based side. And Islanders last weekend, a clinical 2-0 performance over Notsamot, as I mentioned. Here's Ken Chuando for Kobe Greaves, and how he'll set up his center back, Gordon Hall. Third straight unchanged starting 11 for the Highlanders here, so they are a team that a lot of chemistry through the middle. And on the outside as well, as you have Ken Chuando on the ball here, who likes to played out to midfield and to the forwards there for Michael Hedman, who battles with his opposite 9. Matt Marassa played along the deck by Sagast, but well read this time by Gordon Hall. Now Magog all the way back here for Cal Weir, out to the left side for Suka Bahari. And now Marassa, the captain. Purcell trying to long ball forward. Hagon Kim nods it down for Zadravic, and he'll control here. Now Gordon Hall. Ando tucks it to Greaves, trying to find it forward for him, and it's a good idea to put Fergus Hall under pressure. Good job of Hedman to get on goal side here. Hedman all the way through, got pulled down, but no penalty there, says the referee. Now back for Walter. Beautiful save by Weir. Back-to-back chances for the hosts here, already up 1-0. And it's almost a double in the day for Jonathan Walter. Mentioned he came in 1 goal behind Hedman after his opener here and almost tied the game there. made it 2-0 rather in his fourth goal of the season. Here's Weir for Harbourside. Marassa. Ambrose Tinmouth. 4 games played last year with the Guelph Griffins in OUA out in Eastern Canada. Gordon Hall does well to usher that one out of play, but it does go for a Harbourside corner here in the 6th minute of play, as indicated by referee David Schmidt-Shaweda. First assistant referee today is Hannah Browning. Second AR is Garrett Watson, and your fourth official for this afternoon's match is Ben Clark.
You can sit there if you want to. Try it. It's actually more comfortable than a lot of times.
Left-footed ball in here from Tinmouth in the corner. It's a good delivery up there. Zdravik bravely grabs it as he normally does, and he tries to set his team in the counterattack, and a lot of room here for Gregor Smith to attack for Highlanders on this near side. One-on-one with his defender. Smith to the outside, good pace, trying to cut it back across goal. He does so, but it's off the side of the net to the left of Cal Weir, and a goal kick for Harbourside. Weir already had to make a couple of saves. Made the one on Walter, but it did end up going to the back of the net in this top right corner, and then just then, beautiful stop on Walter. Just about made it 2 for this Victoria side. Fergus Hall. Ambrose Tinmouth. One of the 4 changes today for Kevin Lindo's Harbourside. And all the way back for Rogozinski. And now Zdravik in goal for the Highlanders. Smith, now Rogozinski. See a lot of this today. Victoria just content to play through the back here. But you do watch out for the pacey Suka Bahari, the number 7 here on your screen in blue. Very skilled midfielder, got a sweet left foot. Played with the Highlanders last year under Steve Simonson, but decided to jump ship, if you will, to the expansion side out of Nanaimo. Bahari now, tricky play past former teammate Gregor Smith. Now Tinmouth, who's looked lively in the first 8 minutes here so far today. To the right side for Jordan McKinty. Started all but one Harbourside game this year. The outside back, and now Marassa for Bahari from distance. Now Purcell for Bahari, one-on-one against Ando. Good tackle from Ando, but Bahari recovers it. Now but back for Matt Marassa. Tyson Tachani to his right for McKinty, who's in advanced position here for the visitors. For Purcell. Now Tachani to his right for McKinty. Nice smooth play into the top of the 18 for Bagiopoulos, but brought away quickly by Rogozinski for Henman. Walter to the left side for Javier Sagast, who plays on this pitch with UVic Vikes in his college season. Quick ball to his right side now for Hagon Kim, who is overlapping. Now Smith for Ando. Ando looking over the top for Hagon Kim. A roll out of play and a throw coming up here for Gregor Smith. Smith, who left the game late on last week against Notsamod after cramping up, and asked Steve Simonson about that, if he was able to keep that same starting 11 this week. He said, yep. And what 11 it has been the last 3 games. Coming into this one, 5 goals for, no goals against. Here's Walter. Now Suka Bahari for Harbourside. Ando for Smith. Here's Greaves for Kensho Ando. Now Kobe Greaves for Ando. Those two UNBC Timberwolf teammates out in Prince George. Here's Sagast. Firm tackle there by Fergus Hall. Ball's going to roll out as Smith with a firm shove for Charlie Purcell. And a throw in for Gregor Smith here. And a nice touch out to the right side for Gregor Smith. Now Henman trying to enter the Harbourside box. Shove there was Kobe Greaves and slid out of play really well by Callum Magog. And a corner kick coming up here for the Highlanders. Their first of the game in the 11th minute. Kobe Greaves, the left-footed midfielder, will come over to take this one here. Greaves, an excellent season his rookie year at UNBC. 2 goals, 5 assists, 14 games played towards the front post. Met by Kent Joanno and a half volley and cleared away. Here's Sagast, the second ball clipped in. Back post for Greaves, heads it towards goal, and a good read by the red-clad keeper today, Cal Weir, to collect that one. He'll try and distribute quickly here for Harbourside. You have to say the last 5 or 6 minutes defended really well and looked positive going forward, but a very stingy Highlanders backline, third most goals for in this season, but least goals against, tied with the Rovers with 5. Here's Purcell. For McKinty, now Billy Bagiopoulos. Top of the 18 for Bahari, back wide for Bagiopoulos into the Highlanders box. Bagiopoulos fires. Now blocked back to the right side for McKinty. Away by Greaves at the left side for Kim, but stepping in was Purcell. Now Fergus Hall for Matt Barassa and Chitani. Here's Suka Bahari. Nice ball from Magog back for Bahari, clipped across, headed away by Sagast, and he'll track this one down there against Purcell, who's been very good and wins the ball back for his side to the right side for Johnny McKenzie. McKenzie clips one back in, away by Ando. And now Gordon Hall for Sagast. Just out of the reach of Henman there into the Harbourside bench, where Kevin Lindo will track that ball down. And a throw in for McKinty. Marassa for Chitani. Now McKenzie. Long shot from Bahari from outside of the 18. Now heavier Sagast for the Highlanders to the left side for Hagon Kim. If you're just joining us here, the League 1 BC Featured Match on YouTube and Telesoptic TV. It was a 1-0 lead early on for the Highlanders. Jonathan Walter scoring his 3rd of the year in the 2nd minute. A beautiful left-footed strike, top corner past Cal Weir. And almost a double for Walter a couple minutes later, but Cal Weir that time answered the bell. The in-close save. Here's Hagon Kim from a ways out, finding Ando. Ando tries a beautiful switch there for Smith off the chest. An awkward touch for the right back, but good job by Magog to get there for Harbourside and set his team up back in possession. Here's Suka Bahari, losing it right to Ando, and he's all over the pitches, and Kenshu Ando draped all over Bahari like a dirty shirt there, and helps Bahari to his feet, the 2 former teammates of last year. Highlanders team that kept over 11 players from last year's team that finished dead last in League 1. And what a turnaround this year for Steve Simonson's Highlanders, who lives on the island here with his family in Victoria. Travels to and from Victoria and Prince George during the UNBC Timberwolves Canada West regular season between August and November. Free kick for Jonathan Walter. Up there was Rogozinski, drops down. Here's Hagon Kim off the outside of the goal. It's set up really well for Hagon Kim, and a Volley off his right foot goes on the outside of the goal, but another good set-piece opportunity there is Caden Rogozinski, the big number 5, who did well to rise up to that ball. Now here's Ambrose Tinmouth. Cal Weir towards half. Purcell. Well met by Walter. Pulled down. Referee blows that one dead there, and a free kick for Harbourside just inside the Highlanders' half. On 60 minutes is a word there from David Schmidt-Shaweda to Jonathan Walter, who disallowed a Harbourside break. Chitani now. Heavy touch from Magog up this left side as he was pushed by Smith. Throw-in goes the way of the Highlanders, sorry, to Harbourside here. I thought it was going to be a Highlanders throw, but it'll be taken quickly by Magog. Bagiopoulos, and now Purcell. Here's Bahari from outside the 18 trying to find McKenzie. Now here's Gregor Smith up the touchline, out of play, and another throw in here for the visitors who try and combat this early Highlanders goal. Just 6 goals this year for Harbourside in prior 10 games. The well-traveled Gregor Smith will take a throw. Finished his third year at UNBC. Now here's Henman, who led the league in goals the Canada West season, and Michael Henman 17 to be exact. Out wide left for Hagon Kim, enters the Harbourside box with a beautiful move, has Henman in tow back across, back to the 18 for Smith. Try to lay it off for Kobe Greaves, a half volley, and well met by the Harbourside backline there, who created a wall in front of their own netminder. As Cal Weir was ready and prompted for that one, but it did not come to his hands. Now here's Kobe Greaves for Ando on his right side. Now Rogozinski to his left for Gordon Hall. Ando trying to play it down the touchline for Smith. Nice ball in the air play there by Tyson Chitani, but just rolled ahead by Purcell, and a throw in for Rogozinski. So no goals against in 2 1/4 games for the Highlanders. So foul on Gordon Hall got the worst of that one there, and I asked Steve Simonson earlier this week about defensive solidity, saying that between the back 3 being so solid, very high work rate, and they've really embraced the defensive side of the game. The Highlanders had the most goals against last year, and as mentioned, finished last. As you get a look at the shot there from Hagon Kim, who's listed as a wingback for Steve Simonson's team. Also a rookie that just finished his initial year at UNBC's. Gordon Hall feeling the worst of that one. Steve also saying a big element has been willingness to try and win back the ball, and you see how tenacious they are when they give up possession. It has been frequent in the last 5 or so minutes for the Highlanders, but they are making sure that with dogged determination they're winning that ball back. Henman to the outside looking to find Gregor Smith with a header towards goal. Grabbed by Weir. Didn't initially look like it was going to be an opportunity for Smith to head the ball, but Weir didn't come out of his net, and the goalkeeper did make the secondary save, but his team just trying to exit their own half here. Henman got it from Walter. Henman, nice work back for Walter, and tried to double his tally on the day with another left-footed effort that goes high and wide of Weir's goal. Cal Weir, the Team Yukon goalkeeper in the 2022 Summer Games. As you see, another look at that one here. Henman, perfect clip ball across for Smith, and a header would have had to do a lot to get the right back to find the net there for his first of this season, but his header found the hands of Cal Weir. Full credit, though, to Smith and Henman for connecting on that play. McKinty plays it into the Highlanders' half. Cody Gisbers wins the ball well. Now Walter wide left for Kim. Harbourside misdirection, and a big chance for Henman as a misdirected pass from Harbourside fell right to the feet of Henman. You can't leave that man open. And his 4 goals on the year, but Weir made that save in the right-footed shot from outside the 18 for Michael Henman in the 21st minute. Fergus Hall to his right for McKinty. Looking long for Ambrose Tinmouth. Covering there was Gordon Hall. Tinmouth thought he won it back for Harbourside. He does want a deep throw. Really good job there by Tinmouth. Wins his team a deep throw into the Highlanders half here as Gordon Hall was defending. Hall actually was with Pacific trialing in the CPL just before the Island games out in the Maritimes, as he was destined to sign a contract with, at the time, Pamadou Ka's team, and ended up signing instead with a team out of the U.S. Has time with FC Tucson as well as the Highlanders in USL League 2. Is this one thrown it up? There was Hall. Now Sagas running away quickly for the Highlanders. Well tackled, but Hammond trying to win the second ball. Purcell up in the air, knotted down by Ando. Half clear by Hall. And now here's Greaves back to the left side. Hagon Kim trying to switch here for Smith, and a delivery from Kim went over the shoulder of Smith. A couple of times in this game, Highlanders have done that same play back across the far side of the pitch, as you see Hemman there just bouncing one off the grass, and it's a difficult one to read for a keeper. Low-driven shot, that's how Henman scored last week against Notsamot in the 15th minute as it was. McKinty ahead looking for McKenzie, but Zadravik reads that one well. Zadravik into the Harbourside half. Up there was Henman. Down well by Marassa. Now Chitani to left for Bahari, but well read by Gregor Smith. Keeps his team in possession. Here's Cody Gisbers. Bahari was there. Bagiopoulos nods it down. Purcell in the middle. Charlie Purcell a half volley, and well blocked by Kobe Greaves. And now here's Jonathan Walter. Walter in the midfield lost it. Bahari now for Chitani, looks left. Good ball hooked over the top for Fergus Hall here. Just holds it inside the touchline. Back to Bahari. Let it go for Chitani. At the edge of the 18, tries to play one in back post. Good idea, headed away by Gordon Hall now for fellow namesake Fergus Hall. And now Charlie Purcell for Chitani. Purcell right to the feet of McKenzie. Ken Shoanda will try and push it forward for Hemman, who's got a half step here, but the flag does go up on Hemman, who can't believe it. Michael Hemman in the 23rd minute thought he was on for a breakaway there, and you don't often see those in this game, but Fergus Hall read that one the whole way. League 1 BC feature match on it. Telesoptic TV is presented by the Hall Group of companies. Together we support League 1 BC, its players, coaches, referees, and communities. McKinty now towards the 18. Bagiopoulos knocked down for Bahari. Tucks it wide left for Magog. Blocked well by Henman. Make that Rogozinski, who was tracking back, and now Henman will watch this ball go back to Marassa. Fergus Hall to the right side for McKinty. McKinty trying to hold that ball, and he does well. It's a perfect delivery. Chance for Purcell, and he skies it there. A great look for Harbourside, who just entered this Highlanders backline with ease, and Purcell's going to want that one back, won't he? Fell perfectly to his feet off the ball and wide right from McKinty, and Purcell skied his effort. Kevin Lindo saying this week, the head coach of Harbourside, that Victoria Highlanders will, I'm sure, be quality. And they're like a puzzle to figure out, which kind of presents a true statement about this Highlanders team. Saying that Steve Simonson has this Highlanders team playing well this season, as evidenced by their spot in the standings. Hagon Kim for Michael Henman, grabbed by Weir. A little stare down from Weir, and it will be a foul on Henman. So those two will high five for each other, and good sportsmanship there as we are asking not for a card on Henman. You see this opportunity for Purcell. It fell to him sweetly on that left foot, but he did sky a shot in behind Daniel Zadravik. Hakon Kimmel just cleared out of McKenzie's way on that right side. Here's Tinmouth. Gordon Hall stepped in, now finds Ken Chuando, but right back to Harbourside. Here's a chance for Bagiopoulos. Grabbed at Zadravik. Another great opportunity there for the Highlanders, or for Harbourside rather. The Highlanders were not playing well defensively, in a good position, and Harbourside made the most of it, forcing a save out of Zadravik there. Two good looks in the last 5 minutes for Harbourside that don't find the net, but positive going forward for Kevin Lindo's Harbourside. As the Nanaimo-based side traveled up the island today to play this, down the island today to play this Highlanders team, fighting the long weekend traffic. Here's Gordon Hall. Sagast for Hall here, pressured quickly by McKenzie. And now Walter, as the Highlanders try to stamp their name on this game even more than they already have in this 1-0 lead. Hall to the left side for Sagast. Driven ball for Henman, top of the 18, watched by Marassa. That's been a delightful matchup to watch so far between the two number 9s, the center back Marassa and the striker Henman. Here's Ando. Tidy ball for Sagast in the Harbourside half. Sagast fouled, and a free kick in a good position here for the Highlanders, albeit a ways out from goal, but you've seen already the delivery from Jonathan Walter has been very good. Bagiopoulos, low shot saved by Zadravik, and that's kind of what see Harbourside try to cross it back into the box for those opportunities, and it's worked so far as Purcell had one look. Bagiopoulos there off a low ball from McKinty, who's getting forward well in that right wing. Free kick for Walter from about 35 yards out from goal. Greaves to his left, also standing over that ball here in the 28th. Walter back towards the 6 there for Gisbers. Went off of him, and for a Harbourside goal kick. Weird to his right for Fergus Hull. Now McKinty, who played at SFU Red Leafs last year. Played with Whitecaps U19s and Pacific. Year and a half training stint with them. 16 games played last year, 14 starts with Clint Schneider's SFU. Upon Burnaby Mountain. Rogozinski and a dangerous ball forward from Gisbers. Rogozinski finds Walter for Greaves, and that one pushed away by Chitani, but not fully out for Harbourside. Here's Ando for Greaves. Now Sagast, tidy stuff here from the Highlanders. Here's Greaves. Running through his Kim, just a bit too much on that one in the 29th, and another opportunity for Weir to set his team in possession. Hunted forward there well by Kobe Greaves. And now to play firmly by Cody Gisbers into the far side. Throw in for McKinty. Here's Purcell looking over the top there. Harbourside wanted a foul, didn't get one as McKenzie can't believe it. Gordon Hall looks long. Hemman trying to track this one down. Got past Marassa. Marassa pulled him down. No foul there. Walter continues. Finds Henman. Henman out to the wide area. Henman still going for the Highlanders. Cuts it back through off the post. Second ball. Chance for Sagast. Slid away by Fergus Hall. Beautiful defending from Harbourside. It keeps this game 1-0, but could have been 2 just like that as Sagast had a second look off that post opportunity. Great job defending by Harbourside Fergus Hall in the 31st. What an opportunity there for the Highlanders. As Hemmond had the first look, didn't look good in that position for Michael Hemmond. It looked like he got too far to the way of the post, but did hit off the woodwork, and Sagast looking for another goal in the season. Would have been his second if that one had found the twine. Here's Walter, right-footed ball, and headed over by Hagon Kim. And a goal kick for Weir. For every Highlanders chance, there seems to be a Harbourside answer here. And vice versa, but take away that first goal in the first 2 minutes and a collapse defensively for Harbourside. It's a scoreless game. You see the Henman post there, and then Sagasta, good follow-up, and he struck it pretty well. And a brave block by Fergus Hall off his right leg. Harbourside team searching for their first win here in almost 2 months. Only win was May 7th rather at home against Notsamont. And up in the air. 5 losses, 4 draws, 1 win for Harbourside so far this season. That's their 11th game of the season. Same with the Highlanders today. So we reach the final 4 games of the League 1 BC season. Seems like it's flown by after starting a little bit earlier this year to accommodate the 2 extra games and the extra team in League 1, now up to 8 teams. Gordon Hall will deliver this ball across the field in the 32nd for Gregor Smith. Rogozinski, nice elusive turn. Back for Kobe Greaves from distance. Kobe Greaves! Good hit from a ways out, about 25 yards for Kobe Greaves, and lashed that one just over the goal. Kyle Weir wouldn't have had to do much. They would have flashed by him into the top corner. That one found the back of the net for Kobe Greaves. Gisbers for Walter, knotted down by Purcell. Harry shoves Rogozinski, and it's going to be a foul here. Endo can't believe it, but it is a Harbourside free kick. I thought it would have been a Highlanders free kick the way that Bahari went through Rogozinski, but he did win his side a free kick. Did Bahari? Bahari from Cairo, Egypt, spent 4 years at UNBC. Scored first ever goal for Harbourside versus Unity back in April 29th at home against the Langley Bay side. You see here, Bahari just bowled through Rogozinski, and Rogozinski the guilty party. That allows the visitors to have a free kick here from a ways out. Marassa right-footed ball and teasing towards the 6, but back up in the air. This one towards Bagiopoulos. Grabbed by Zadravic as those two collide, and a foul on Bagiopoulos there. See a bit of a rivalry here between these two. Steve Simonson saying this week that local teams bring the best out of each other, and that is for sure. You see here quality through 34 minutes at Centennial Stadium. Albeit quite a difference in the standings between these two teams. Highlanders at 20 points, Harbourside at 7, so 13 points separating these two teams, but hasn't looked that way in the pitch so far. Harbourside 2 points ahead of Altitude today in the standings, coming into today anyways, is Altitude in the road to face Unity. Marassa, this one might run out on this near side, and Marassa won't get there. Called firmly by the assistant referee, Garrett Watson, as Marassa pushes that one away from Gregor Smith. Yellow card for Marassa here in the 35th. Harbourside already without their number 6, Reese Farragher, for yellow card accumulation, who collected 4 yellow cards coming into today, so he's out. He's been a key player for them, a defender. Reese Farragher, experienced at national team level. Former UBCO Heat. Harbourside for Rogozinski. Oh, looking over the top for Javier Sagas. There's McKinty, plays it up the line out of play off of Hagon Kim. The throw in for McKinty here. Gisbers to the feet of Ando. Closely contested with Ambrose Tinmouth to the left side for Hagon Kim. Kim looking through for Henman there, but instead Sagas who will push over Fergus Hall. Hall also with the Highlanders last year, so one of many players this year that have switched teams. .37th minute here, and a free kick in a deep position for the Nanaimo-based team. Have lost 3 in a row, but looking positive offensively here. Just 3 different goal scorers as well coming into this game. Bagiopoulos, Purcell, and Bahari. Bahari with 3, Bagiopoulos with 2, Purcell with 1. Kim now finding himself in midfield. Hedman making the run through, trying to find a perfect ball from Kim for Hedman. Saved well by Weir. Fans wanted a second. Another good save for Weir. Got the worst of that one there and some discomfort. Down to one knee behind the play is Cal Weir. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. It was a powerful strike from Hedman. And Cal Weir down on the pitch here. We were just trying to shake off a bit of discomfort there as Kim with a perfect weighted ball for him and got him behind in Marassa. And Weir at that ball could have been 2 for the Highlanders. They've been threatening. Hemman is saved well by Weir. Harbourside finishing a 3-game road trip next weekend against the Whitecaps and home for 2 against the Rovers in altitude at Kakinishtuk Stadium in Nanaimo. Ask Kevin Lendo about the opportunity to finish the season at home. So important. We've seen teams last year really turn it on the last 2 games of the season, like altitude. Weren't able to propel themselves into the top 2 last year. Now, obviously, the top 4 with the realigned playoff positioning. But saying it's massive to send a message to our fans in the final 2 games at home and want to play attacking football, and they have so far in this game. Harbourside, couple of shots on goal, but Zadravic has been equal to the task in the Highlanders net. Here's Caden Rogozinski. One of 6 Mount Royal University Cougars to join the team this year at one point or another in their careers. 12 Timberwolves and 4 UVic Vikes. So Steve Simonson pulling from local and his own teams to kind of form this squad for the Highlanders this season. And Mount Royal University as well had a great year, reached the Canada West Final Four for men's soccer. Here's Chitani, watched by Kim all the way back in his half for Fergus Hall. Henman coming over to try and win the ball back for his side. There's that dogged determination from Henman. Hall nods it down, but right to the feet of Kim. Back to the left side for Henman, who is offside. Second offside call of the day for Michael Henman here in the 40th. And both times looked right over at the assistant referee, who put his flag up. That's Garrett Watson. There's a look at the towering striker Henman has between League 1 BC and Canada West. 21 goals to his name in this calendar year. The last season of football, rather, for Michael Henman. He's coming off a great season, as I mentioned, with UNBC, one of the top players in all of U Sports. No foul on Walter, says the referee. Busy day at the office for David Schmidt-Schwader, giving out a yellow card to Matt Marassa of Harbourside. Smith for Walter, now back for Smith. Ando lost it right to Purcell. Purcell has some space for Harbourside. Charlie Purcell blocked well by Hull, and that'll send off the Highlanders into attack here. Greaves hack on Kim to his left. Kim will try and get there, Hemming out to the wide right. Kim into the 18. Back to his left foot. Hag on Kim, deflected it and blocked there well by McKinty, who caught a second win to slide that ball away from danger. Corner kick coming up for the Highlanders, as you see there. Harsh no call on Harbourside there, you feel? Chitani looked right at the referee and didn't get a call on that one, but Walter might be a lucky man getting away from that one unscathed. Walter, a bit of a misjudged ball, a mishit ball for Kobe Greaves. He keeps it alive, clips it back across. Rogozinski was there and bravely nabbed by Cal Weir. Quick distribution, beautifully done. Here's Bagiopoulos in the break for Harbourside, one-on-one against Ando. Bahari and Tinmouth in support. McKenzie, little 1-2 for Bagiopoulos. Back across for Bahari, flicks it towards goal. Bahari, second chance. And cleared away by Hull just off the bottom of the corner flag. And out for a corner here for Harbourside. 4 minutes till halftime, and you feel a Harbourside goal here will be absolutely massive. So you see Kim play it back in, teasing ball and nabbed by Weir. Rogozinski was right there trying to win that header, but brave nab by the Harbourside keeper, Cal Weir. Quick corner taken from Tinmouth. Up towards Bahari, drops down a second chance, and slid away somehow. I think Zadravic got a piece to it. Just about an equalizer for Harbourside. You really have to fancy to find the net here before halftime. Fergus Hall can't believe it. As he wins his side, another corner. It will be Bahari over to take. Right for the ball towards the front post, knocked down. Back to Bahari out wide left. Bahari right for the ball to the back stick for Fergus Hall. Up there was Gordon Hall. Now away comes Walter. Quick ball ahead for Gregor Smith. Asked to run here, and Chitani is back. Finds Cal Weir. Ando collides with Magog in midfield. Perfect ball through. Bagiopoulos just offside. He had a clean look through, but right on his heels were Rogozinski and Gordon Hall, who have been under a lot of pressure here in the last bit of this half of the Highlanders' back line. Here's that look again for Fergus Hall off the left leg of Zadravic, who you thought might be beaten there. Fergus Hall back for Weir. Now Marassa. Weir plays it away. Right there was Hagon Kim. Now Ando. Gordon Hall for Kobe Greaves. Ando out wide left. Tidy stuff here. Gordon Hall ahead for Hagon Kim. Can the Highlanders double their lead before halftime? Kim, a low-driven cross, and it down rolls to the right of Cal Weir and the Harbourside net. Fergus Hall finding Jordan McKinty. Tinmouth nudged off the ball by Walter, and a foul there. Down in some discomfort is Kobe Greaves, it looks like. Both teams a strong bench on today. You look to the names of Keyshawn Brooks, Sesko Bartolillo for the Highlanders. That could come on and make a difference. Harbourside, they have Bobray Beacon on the bench. Same with Taylor Arbor, the big striker, former VIU Mariner, who could make a difference for Kevin Lindo's Nanaimo team. Free kick for Walter just in front of the far Harbourside bench. He's already delivered a couple of good once today. This one towards the back post for Rogozinski, back into the danger area. Sagas lurking for that second ball, comes to Smith though. Now Ando for the Highlanders, slidden away by Fergus Hall, but keeping it alive is the speedy Gregor Smith. Smith now for Ando, teasing ball for Hagon Kim, saved by Weir. What a look again for the Highlanders as Walter trying to play it back across in his weaker left foot, and a great look for Hagon Kim as we've reached 45 minutes here, 2 to be added on at the end of this first half, and Highlanders just about gifted a second goal there. They're going to have to try a little bit more to get this one past Cal Weir. He's been a stone wall and net for Harbourside as he got a left paw to that one. To the Harbourside keeper. He'll try and push his team forward here. Up there was Ando. Right to the feet of Bagiopoulos. Pull back, no call. Here is Ando. Highlanders on the break. Knotted down by Marassa, though. Right to Chitani. Now Tyson Chitani to the right side for McKenty. Fergus Hall now for Tinmouth. It's on his own half. He's got Bahari ahead of him. He'll find him. Suka Bahari trying to get past Rogozinski. There's Tinmouth. Bahari top of the 18 for Harbourside. Trickly out wide right to McKenzie back across goal. There's a header on goal from over the goal rather from Callum Magog. What a look for Harbourside again as they try to equalize, and they can't before half. They trail 1-0 to this Highlanders team. End-to-end affair so far at Centennial Stadium on this Canada Day long weekend. Glad you're with us here for the League 1 BC Featured Match, and it was a dream start to the game for the Highlanders and a breakdown defensively for Harbourside as Jonathan Walter scored a beautiful goal from just inside the 18-yard box off the right hand of Callum Weir, and that allowed the Highlanders to be ahead. His third goal of the year. 16 games played for Walter, 16 starts, 3 goals last year, so didn't get an assist in 16 games last year with MRU Cougars. Out of Alberta for Jonathan Walter, but he did a great job at stirring the pot offensively for Steve Simonson's Highlanders in that first half. And a 1-0 lead for the Highlanders, courtesy of Jonathan Walter today here at Centennial Stadium. That's where we stand so far at halftime. And Jonathan Walter joins Gurpreet Cambo here at halftime. Let's hear from Gurpreet with the goal scorer, Jonathan Walter.
Good. Okay, so I'm here with number 10 for the Highlanders, Jonathan Coulter. He scored the only goal in the game so far. So give us a bit of a recap of how that play happened.
Yeah, it just kind of started off pretty quick. We got the ball back into space, and I think it was Gregor who cut it back, and I was just right in the right spot, and I just kind of hit it in the corner. And the goalie got a piece of it, but it was enough to get in. So it was a quick goal, but yeah, we're still wanting some more here, but yeah.
And so your team is in second place right now with 20 points. Actually, you're tied for points with the first place team. So how do you feel about the rest of the season?
Yeah, no, it's going to come down to the last game, I think. I don't know. I think we're tied for points right now, but they have a bigger goal difference. So we just try and get as many goals as we can to close it up and win every game to secure that first place.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Gurpreet, for that. With Jonathan Walter, goal scored halftime. 1-0 Highlanders lead Harbourside at the first half here at Centennial Stadium. A couple of looks for either side after that goal, but it's a 1-0 deficit. There's the goal from Walter. Highlanders 1, Harbourside 0 at halftime. You're watching League 1 BC Feature Match on TELUS and YouTube as well here from the island.
League1 BC was built to provide opportunity for everyone involved with the game in our province. The Hall Group proudly supports its own workforce while offering training and opportunity for new recruits to its multiple divisions. A partnership that provides people with the tools they need, both on the field of play and in the field. Hall, together we rise as one. League1 BC is a critical new level of play that supports soccer's infrastructure in the province. The Hall Group was built on infrastructure projects in British Columbia. This premier partnership between two built-in BC groups promotes the highest standards for people and their growth, while building communities in our province both on the field and in the field. Hall, together we rise as one.
Okay, everybody, let's have a great show.
Jesse's gonna throw, look out, Garabasad, got it.
Pickup, pass it there to Jesse King, who scores again!
At West Shore Motorsports Park.
Cross in the box for Parmar, and she's done it!
You know, Canada's always had participation on the women's side, participation on the men's side, but at some point you have to turn that into a pathway.
The amount of times I get emails or phone calls from young soccer players asking, how do I make it? How do I do this? There's so many different pathways that players can take. 90% of those pathways are to leave our country, and that's what we have to change.
Canada soccer is a very interesting setup. When you think of top soccer countries, you're not usually thinking of Canada.
Everybody looked at it and said, we need a league.
Like thousands of kids across the province, Michael Henman spent his youth on the soccer pitch, falling in love with the beautiful game.
I first met him probably when he was, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, something like that. And he was, you know, your average kid that age, just loved the game. And, you know, you couldn't take a ball off his feet and had a smile on his face all the time.
It's kind of all I know. Most of my life is prioritized around soccer. So it's something I enjoy doing, and why not try to have a career around something like that?
But by the time he reached high school in the Victoria Highlanders U21 program, an emerging battle with anxiety began to impact his game.
For a while, I was pretty scared to play soccer, which is weird, having it be, you know, something that if I have a lot of schoolwork or you know, girl issues, you know, I use soccer to kind of get away from that, and it's just it turned into something I was scared of. So my life kind of turned upside down for a bit.
He was, injured from training or injured from games. It didn't sort of make sense. It was like he was never sort of healthy all the time. And then one day he came up and just sort of opened up, came to me and said what he was feeling, and it was he admitted that he had some real anxiety problems around playing the game.
So I had to step away from soccer for around 2 or 3 years. So I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't really leaving the house. I wasn't going to school. Steve was a huge part in that. I stayed in contact with Steve throughout that whole period. I would always text him and say, hey, one day I'm going to come up to UNBC, and then, and he stayed in contact with me, and eventually I got the courage, and working with therapists and my family, and I finally was able to go up there and play soccer there.
A return to the game that reached new levels last season when Henman paced the country with 19 goals, earning top conference honors.
The native of Victoria notches #1 on the season as his teammates celebrate.
You've been chosen as this year's Canada West Male Soccer Player of the Year. Congratulations, buddy!
It definitely wasn't a switch that was like, oh, I'm fine now, because I believe to this day, it's the type of thing that doesn't leave you, right? He manages very well, and what I'm really proud of him is he asked for help, and he's not ashamed of who he is, and the people around him have embraced who he is, and that's really allowed him to sort of rise back to where we knew his true potential late in sport.
Obviously, it's fun scoring goals and being able to do my job, which is scoring goals. But at the end of the day, I was really happy with my team, and I was more happy with with my coach Steve getting named U Sports Coach of the Year, which was pretty cool.
And while his mental health journey is far from over, Henman says he finally feels back at home in League 1 with Highlanders FC.
I've just kind of been trying to keep going up and up, and obviously days are tough sometimes, and it's hard to get out of bed sometimes, but it's all worth it at the end, because these guys are pretty great. We've got a pretty great group of guys.
Really proud of him, for sure, and I think more so really proud not just of his teammates, but he's told me of the stories of people on opposing teams that have reached out to him and spoken to him, and I think it's opening sort of some doors to discuss some serious topics in sport, and I think that's very important. But his true potential as a person's coming out full force now with how he's an advocate for mental health.
It was a long journey, but it's something that I will cherish, because it's made me who I am.
second half here at Centennial Stadium. League 1 BC Feature Match on YouTube and Telus Optic TV. There's a look at Cal Weir, who was busy between the sticks for Harbourside after 45. His team trailing by a goal in his second-minute effort from Jonathan Walter. His third goal of the year for the Highlanders. And goals in back-to-back games, 2 beautiful goals as well for Jonathan Walter, as the Highlanders will go from right to left in the second half in the white jerseys with the black jersey numbers and the black shorts. Harbourside in the dark blue tops with the light blue shorts and dark socks, moving from left to right for Kevin Lindo's team. A lot to like out of the first half. Second time I've seen them this season after doing a game for them with the Rovers back in May, and they looked a different team, albeit the same squad. Different how they set up, but big second half for them, looking to finish the season strong. Not mathematically eliminated from League 1 BC standings, but still a long way to go, as they have 2 games left after today. 3 games make that 2 at home and 1 on the road. That ball nodded for by Michael Hemmen, who didn't score in the first half, did a lot of things away from the ball. Talking to Steve Simonson about that the week, saying that he's really battled injuries as Michael Hemmen, as you saw that great documentary on him at halftime. Hasn't been able to do that work in transition when he's been struggling with those injuries. Had to stay mainly up top to preserve his fitness, but when he does work defensively, helps his team a lot, and that's the way they want to play, with Michael Hemmen leading the charge up top. Gordon Hall trying to thread it forward for Michael Hemmen. Nice turn from Charlie Purcell, but it's back for Ando, and now the Highlanders, Gisber's on the ball. He was excellent last week in keeping Knotson off the board, and the week before against Rivers. 3-0 win at home here, last home match for Victoria. Hall all the way back for Daniel Zadravic. Third year just finished with UMBC. Zadravic, it's his goal to lose here in Victoria and Prince George. Definitely a candidate for a CPL goalkeeper job at some point in his career, I'm sure. Very athletic keeper. Is a nice play by Bahari out wide to his left. Bahari watched by Ando. There's Walter stepping in. And now Javier Sagas looking through for Hemmen, trying to get through his defender. That was Marassa. Make that Fergus Hall was fouled there. Marassa subbed off at halftime, it looks like, for Harbourside. He was on a yellow, so it will be Fergus Hall wearing the captain's armband. So Chitani out and Matthew Coburn in, 3-year veteran of the University, Vancouver Island University Mariners. Corner kick for Kobe Greaves here for the Highlanders, and that amazing left foot he's got, so tricky. Greaves left-footed ball and headed away well by McKenzie. There's Bahari for the Highlanders. They'll come the other way for Harbourside, make that, as he's got overlapping run from Ambrose Tinmouth. Bahari finds him, Tinmouth in a good position for the visitors, trying to strike one back across goal, well slidden away by Gregor Smith. A corner kick here for the Nanaimo squad coming up through Ambrose Tinmouth. Might leave it for Bahari, who actually took a couple of corners in that first half on his right foot. He's got a left foot as well, the native of Cairo, Egypt. Real student of the game is Suga Bahari. Looks towards his front post, away by Sagas. Might fall, though, for Jordan McKinty. Left-footed effort is blocked. And now brought away by Smith. Got it wide from Sagas. Smith, one on a couple of Harbourside players. The Highlanders right back moves forward. Smith cuts it back for Walter. We heard from at halftime. And now Purcell. Rogozinski in the ball to the left side for Hall. Hagon Kim, the pacey winger, finding Sagast from distance. The Uvik Vike trying to thread it through for Henman. Now McKinty. Fergus Hall now trying to play it away for the visitors, and he will, but it's a throw in for Gordon Hall here. Greaves for Hall. Now Ando, and now Kobe Greaves. Gisbers to his right for Rogozinski. Clip ball over the top. It's a foot race between Magog And Smith finds the feet of Coburn. Dangerous ball to his left for Magog. It did come away with it, though. Tinmouth lost it. Walter for Smith. Ando now pulling the strings of midfield. Finds Walter. Now Rogozinski. Kobe Greaves to his left for Gordon Hall. Up the line for Hagon Kim. Beautiful move infield. Kim losing the ball fairly to Tawny, and it's a play on advantage for Harbourside. A ball looking through, went through Gisbers, and giving up his run there was Billy Bagiopoulos. He might have had a chance to get in behind Gisbers. He didn't deal with that through ball well. As the Dravic goes out wide right for Ken Ando. Bagiopoulos originally from Greece, 3 years with the Vancouver Island University Mariners. This ball through for him and might make it 2 for the Highlanders. And he was pushed from behind as he was trying to shoot that ball. He did get a shot off, but it's well wide right of Callum Weir's goal here in the 51st. A rare look on the day for Henman. That's what he brings quiet so far in this second half of the first part, or half for the most part of Henman, but his left-footed effort goes wide to the right of Weir, and Harbourside will retain possession. Here's Bahari, fouled firmly by Cody Gisbers. Bahari remains down in the yellow there for Gisbers, who got one last week as well. Does feel like a bit of a rivalry game, though, doesn't it? The close contention between these two is that's a great look for Henman, but bit of a shove from Coburn. Fellow might have been pretty harsh, though, to give him a penalty. Henman, but good position for Henman to be in, and 9 times out of 10 you pick him to put that one in the back of the net, but his left-footed volley fell wide of the goal. Bahari, nice work on the outside. Watched by Smith, cuts it back across. Blocked by Rogozinski, and another corner for Harbourside today in the 52nd. Bahari over to take on that right foot here. Harbourside very much in this match. Haven't conceded a goal in 49 minutes here. Good ball from Bahari, back post. Hagon Kim with a throw in here in this near side for the Highlanders. Him, like Greaves, a fantastic rookie year at the UNBC Timberwolves. A lot of good scouting for Steve Simonson out of different countries to acquire talent for that UNBC team. Here's a throw in for Kim. Now Ando. Beautiful turn there for Rogozinski in that far side. Half clear by Fergus Hull. Up there was Gregor Smith. He's got room to roam here for the Highlanders to the right side for Rogozinski. Battling with Coburn. Rogozinski still for the Highlanders. Back across goal. Smith well saved by Cal Weir. Man of the match performance for Weir, and he continues it there with a beautiful save on an in-close look by Gregor Smith. And remains 1-0 for the hosts here, but what a opportunity again to double their lead. As he said, heard from Jonathan Walter just before halftime with our Gurpreet Campbell, just saying that the goal differential is key as the Rovers have that advantage over the Highlanders at top of the standings. If the Highlanders do win today, they will go joint top, but the Rovers will have advantage with a better 20 goals differential. As there's Rogozinski's ball for Smith, and Weir just blocked it with his body and a good stop. He's faced a couple of those in close today from Smith and Sagast earlier in the game, and turned both aside as the Highlanders continue their attack, but a good read by Magog denies that opportunity to move into the 18 of Harbourside. And now away comes Suka Bahari. Channels it through for Ambrose Tinmouth. There's Bagiopoulos back post, waiting for that ball. Rogozinski clears it away. Dangerous delivery, back stick from the winger there, Tinmouth, and just about found the feet of Bagiopoulos. Mentioned his 3 years at VIU, 20 games played, 18 starts, 13 goals, 3 assists. On a back clip for the Greece native, Billy Bagiopoulos. Here's a corner for Suka Bahari, and that right foot again. Numbers starting a little bit outside the 6 here for Harbourside. They might make that attacking run here. That's very difficult for a keeper to stop. It's a great ball from Bahari. Cleared away by Gordon Hall, not fully. Put Shatani Lawson away, comes Hagon Kim, and it's a numerical advantage here for the Highlanders the other way. Hagon Kim, numbers to his right, overlapping run from Sagas. Kim takes it on his left foot. Shot deflected right to the hands of Weir, and a wasted opportunity field there for the home side on that partial break off the Harbourside corner. Bahari now. Here's Kobe Greaves back in his own half for the Highlanders. Now Ando for Henman, away by Fergus Hall, right to the feet of Bagiopoulos here. Now Purcell quickly finding McKenzie, one more ball for Bagiopoulos. Beautiful stuff here for Bahari, but away by Gordon Hall. Best move of the day for Harbourside, but didn't come to much there in that attacking trio of McKenzie, Bahari, and Bagiopoulos, with Purcell just in behind them. Almost like a 3-4-3, same with the Highlanders here for Harbourside and Kevin Lindo's team. Here's Tinmouth. Lindo overtaking the men's squad for VAU after being the women's head coach for 4 seasons, 2018 to 2022. Took over in the fall. That ball whipped in from Tinmouth. Bahari for Purcell, might still get a second chance, but well read and brought ahead now. Walter to his left for Sagast. Hemman through the middle, but Sagast carries on his run here in the 56. Sagast will have an effort, but it's going to go wide to the left of Weir. And a goal kick for the red-clad keeper today. Definitely Gatorade performer of the match material for Cal Weir so far. Here is Bagiopoulos. Well read by Ando. Greaves now. Little 1-2 with Ando. Finds the feet of Sagast here. Good attacking stuff from the Highlanders. Kim for Greaves. Gisbers. Greaves now to the feet of Kensho Ando. Tackled away firmly by McKenzie. Right to the feet, though, of Greaves. Now Gordon Hall. Got that great distribution from the back end. Up this left side for Ando, right to his feet. Ando in a lot of kilometers today, trying to keep it going. Nutmegs his opposition. Purcell as Bahari plays it forward, and a great idea for Bagiopoulos. Watched by Rogozinski, and a firm tackle. Perfectly timed by Caden Rogozinski. The veteran MRU defender denies a counterattack for Harbourside as Bagiopoulos, the danger man from the VIU Mariners. Not just 13 goals in the year with VIU, but also this year has 2 with Harbourside. Here's McKinty. With the Whitecaps U19s last year and a Rich Fagan. Their next feature match on July 15th against Unity out at Chase Office Field at the Trinity Western University campus. 1 and 3:30 kickoffs. Here's Hemman, overlapping run. Gets on the inside of Coburn. Still there for Hemman at the top of the 18. Back across for Smith, slidden away. Danger not over. Here's Jonathan Walter with an opportunity off the crossbar. What a strike from just outside the 18. And Walter denied by the woodwork there. What a look for Walter. Uncorks one from distance. Just about his second of the day and 4th of the season. Would have been his 3rd goal in the last 2 matches as well for Jonathan Walter. And what a look from the number 10. Here's Greaves for Walter.
I would like to remind fans this last call now for Papa John's Pizza.
Walter now for Ando. Here's Rogozinski, midfield, perfect touch. Caden Rogozinski carries on. Rogozinski all the way through, laying it off to the near side for Sagast. Moving on over, though, for the Highlanders as Sagast goes all the way back to Kobe Greaves. Gordon Hall to this left side for Greaves, trying to help it along for Sagast. Firm tackle by McKinty. Wins his side to throw and denies that Highlanders opportunity here in the 59th. These 2 teams only met once previously this season, I should say. That was May 19th at Kakinishtuk Stadium in Nanaimo, where Gregor Smith scored in the 10th. He's had a couple looks today, Gregor Smith. Steve Simonson saying about that game, and the Highlanders head coach. It's their 3rd game of the season. There was a bit of unfamiliarity as well with this Harbourside team. Didn't have Michael Hemman either for that game as he was still working on a niggling injury. Had a very good 30-minute stretch and was dominant in that 30 minutes, says Steve Simonson. So you see that chance for Walter and a beautiful effort off the crossbar there, just in behind Cal Weir. Just like that first game, though, that finished 1-0. This as well, 1-0, but still 30 minutes to go, and you feel like there's at least a goal in this match still. Harbourside don't look like a team that's only scored 6 goals in their prior 10 games, I'll tell you that much. So here's Bahari. Running forward to his left, trying to channel it for Tinmouth. He'll go out for Highlanders. Throwing it would have been a firm tackle on that far side. Wow. Little shove from Smith, and the Harbourside bench not happy there. Spagiopoulos goes right at Gregor Smith. So you see a smiling Kevin Lindo and a quick conversation with Suka Bahari, but would have been a throw if not for that firm tackle, and it did come rather from the Harbourside player. Looked like Tinmouth who dove down for that one in the 61st. That drew a little bit of a crowd.
I got it.
Here's Sagas. Kim in space. Sagas, perfect driven ball right to the feet of Kim. He's off to the attack here. Highlanders fans urging him on. Perfect ball across. And Henman had it nabbed by Weir. Again, the counterattack for the Highlanders. Dangerous here as they prep to make a couple of subs in the 60th. Here's McKinty. Here's Purcell for McKinty. Weir to his left for Coburn. And now Tinmouth. Right to the feet, though, of Kobe Greaves, who's had a strong outing. Now Hagon Kim. Gordon Hall. Looking forward for Walter, right to the chest, though, of Magog, who finds Chitani. Tyson Chitani, 2 years at SAIT Trojans. 15 games played at 14 starts between the two seasons. 2 goals, 2 assists with the former MRU Cougar jumping ship to SAIT. One of 3 players on this Harbourside team from SAIT Trojans. Playing in Alberta. Here's Sagas trying to play it forward for Hagon Kim, and it rolled out for a goal kick for Cal Weir. We'll see if the Highlanders do make their subs. Rogozinski makes his way over. As Hagon Kim's races run. Here's a tackle earlier, by the way. It's a firm challenge by Callum Magog. Unnecessary, to say the least, from the left back as Gregor Smith gives him a shove. And love to see that in this type of matchup, don't you? As Keyshawn Brooks there, the number 3, comes in for Hagon Kim, a like-for-like sub on the left wing. And Javier Sagast, his day is over. The number 4 comes out. And Sesko Bartolelo will come in for the Highlanders, the number 8. So you look at Keyshawn Brooks, a great left wing back for this Highlanders team. It's amazing to bring on a guy like that with a lot of depth and experience, Keyshawn Brooks, to replace Hagon Kim. Brooks, former Caps Academy player. 18 games played, 8 starts with MRU the last 2 seasons. It's a foul there on McKinty and a free kick for Harbourside in the 64th. Tempers flaring just a little bit here. 2 yellow cards so far, 1 for each side. Gisbers for the Highlanders, and Barasta for Harbourside in the first half. He was brought off at halftime by Kevin Lindo. Here's McKinty for Fergus Hall, trying to switch the play to the left side. Here's Coburn. Suka Bahari for Purcell, now Bahari. Bahari watched by Ando, a push through him. Ando won it back well for Smith. He'll come through midfield for the Highlanders. Finds Kobe Greaves, and now Francisco Bartolillo, the sub from a few moments ago. Can he get one here off the bench, the super sub? Brooks. Back to the midfield for Kobe Greaves. Now Ken Choando for the Highlanders finds Jonathan Walter from distance. Walter trying to play it through for Smith. Well intercepted by McGough, and a foul by Smith there. And it will be a free kick for the Highlanders in a very good position after Smith was hauled down by McGough, the man who tackled him in front of that Harbourside bench a few minutes ago there after that what would have been a throw-in turned a little bit vicious. As McGough shakes his head for that one. As Smith hits the deck, and a very important piece of this Highlanders team here for sure. Gregor Smith, he left the game injured last week as he was fouled from behind by McGough there in a dangerous place for a free kick, almost a penalty. A couple of yards away from the 18 there was that foul from McGough as Smith receiving some attention from Bartolillo. Now they'll bring on the trainer here for the Highlanders as Smith trying to shake this one off here. Looked like an ankle injury there for Gregor Smith as he tackled from behind by McGough, and not feeling too comfortable there is Gregor Smith. Highlanders have a couple of subs warming up. You wonder if maybe Nick Park or Hamish Ogden factor in. No more defenders in the bench for Steve Simonson. The only one on the bench today was Keyshawn Brooks. They also have Matt Purse and Logan Pierce, but Purse listed as a forward. So you wonder maybe if Ando goes out to the wide right area instead, or Gordon Hall. But you don't want to see a guy like Smith go down here. 1 goal on the year. As we go to the sideline to hear more about this one from our sideline reporter today, Gurpreet Kamba.
Hi. Yeah, so basically I'm on the side here. I can see, from what I can see, it's a bit far, but number 2 for the Highlanders is on the ground. I saw him sort of take a bit of a rough tumble. Now, the man in red, in the red shirt, is kneeling down next to him. He's helping him up now. And he's sort of limping off the field at the moment. So he is walking, but he looks like he's in a bit of a rough shape. And I think what we're going to have is a penalty kick here in just a moment. Yeah, so they're just lining up a penalty kick. And let's see who's going to take the kick.
Expert analysis from the man on the sideline, Gurpreet Kamba. Thank you. Free kick opportunity here for the Highlanders as Smith is helped off the pitch, as indicated there by Gurpreet Kamba on the sidelines, and not a comfortable situation for Smith. Steve Simonson trying to see if he can continue here. Maybe looks like he will temporarily, but it is a chance at a free kick right off it for Gisbers, and cleared away by Harbourside. Here's the pacey Keyshawn Brooks for Francisco Bartolillo. Brooks making the run through. Beautiful outside of the football from Bartolillo. Here's Brooks under the Harbourside box. Back across goal, and Hemman misfired. Now Walter from distance shapes it back post for Bartolillo, just a bit too far. And a goal kick here for Cal Weir, as Smith is back onto the pitch, albeit limping there for Harbourside, or for the Highlanders. Make that the number 2. Harbourside now trying to play out of the back as Chitani on the ball for the visitors. McKinty up ahead, in a beautiful turn by Purcell, finding Bagiopoulos. Referee waves play on after a foul behind the play. McGough on the outside, pushed away by Gregor Smith. And a throw in for Bahari quickly taken. Here's Tinmouth. McKinty now for Harbourside. Right foot of ball, dangerous away by Gordon Hall, right to the feet though of Kobe Greaves. And now Keyshawn Brooks. For Sesko Bartolillo. Right foot of ball towards the chest of Hemman, who accepted that ball really well. Good play by Hemman, strong off the ball and away from a couple of Harbourside players here all the way through. No foul there. And a throw in for the Highlanders coming up on this near side, but a tough day at the office for Michael Hemman, not on the score sheet with 21 minutes to go. Highlanders fans didn't like that one very much. Thought there would have been a foul. A couple of offside calls as well on Hedman. So things not going his way necessarily today. He definitely did hit the deck there after the foul by Chitani, but referee David Schmidt-Shaweda waves play on. Brooks tries to play it up the left side off of Tinmouth for a throw-in for the Highlanders. Here's they'll try to take their time. Bartolillo for Hedman. Beautiful move there. Comes to Kobe Greaves. Now Ando. Gisbers trying to go wide right for Rogozinski. Overlapping run from Rogozinski for Smith, who gets past a couple of Harbourside players. No foul there. Going to be hard-pressed to get a free kick right now if you're either side. Here's Walter out to the wide area. Back into the middle for Hedman. Hedman's up there. Gets ahead to it. Grab by Weir. Hedman again, towering header. And Cal Weir was equal to the task there for Harbourside. Here's Purcell. Watched by Bartolillo, just out of the way of his left foot. Way by Weir towards half. Up there was Tinmouth. Here's McKinty, watched by Highlanders. Greaves away by the standing captain Fergus Hall for Harbourside in the 72nd. See Smith there bowled through, no call there. It's been about 3 of those the last couple of minutes and no fouls given.
Number 11, Jonathan McKenzie is out.
That's Johnny McKenzie exiting the game here for Harbourside, the number 11. Good hard-working shift from McKenzie. 2 years at VIU. The Mariners there playing out of Nanaimo. 9 games played, 6 starts, no goals to his name. As Mowbray Began, the number 12, comes in here for Harbourside up this near channel. Kerner, former VIU Mariners, on this Harbourside squad that was announced on October the 19th, 2022, as the new team. Crest of their jersey shaped like the ferry. As Bahari fouled firmly in midfield by Gregor Smith, and looks like a card will come out. Yes, it will. It's a color yellow for Gregor Smith, who's been at the wars today with Bahari and Magog up that left side for Harbourside. And you really love that matchup, the pacey Gregor Smith, but it will be a free kick here for Harbourside, who were only just down by a goal. It was a second-minute effort from Jonathan Walter. It's a good job defensively for Harbourside here, who have shut the door this Highlanders offense for the last 70 minutes or so. Came in with the second most goals against in this league, make that third most with 17, but just the 1 goal today. And certainly threatening offensively is the Nanaimo-based squad. Here's a free kick for Magog from distance. A 2-man Highlanders wall stands in his way. A couple of runners on the near edge of this 18-yard box. Ball whipped in, it's going for goal as Magog there and drops his head in frustration. Missed that one by a bit. Gordon Hall for Keyshawn Brooks. Nice touch off the chest. He'll set his team away. Up the left side for Bartolillo. Those two with some good chemistry. Bartolillo carries on. Left-footed ball struck Purcell, who is tracking back. And a corner kick here for the Highlanders in the 74th. Bahari was fouled there by Smith, and definitely warranted a yellow card to that foul. Came up pretty quickly from the referee. Corner now for Jonathan Walter. You wonder how much longer he has in this game. Had a very good day at the office, has Jonathan Walter, the goal scorer. Right-footed ball in towards the 6. Up there was Hedman away firmly. Only as far as Kent Shoando struck a Harbourside player right in front of the 6-yard box. He did really well to keep his hands at his side to not allow a Handball, is that one clipped in back post, back across. Here's Hemman trying to maybe half volley it towards goal, but away come Harbourside. Bahari didn't like his options to his left. That was Bagiopoulos. And now here's Mowbray Beacon for McKinty. Nice play from the sub Beacon. McKinty back across, away by Rogozinski. Might come again here for Beacon. Bagiopoulos waiting in the middle. A nice move by Beacon to the middle. Beacon to tie the game for Harbourside. Blocked by Ando. And away come the Highlanders quickly. Ando to the midfield. Out wide left for Walter, and plenty of space here for the midfielder. Walter for Gisbers. Out wide left for Bartolillo, who's switched sides here with Brooks. Now Rogozinski for Greaves. McGog trying to let it run here for a throw, but he's under pressure from Gregor Smith. Now will be a deep throw here for today's visitors from Nanaimo. Be a long trek back for them, a quiet bus, I'm sure, if they can't nab a goal here in the next 15 minutes. Again, they have looked positive. A few shots for them today, and Zadravic has been very solid when called upon. Islanders team that has this year 5 clean sheets, 3 all of last year, and have just 1/5 the goals they conceded last year. 25 goals against last year, just 5 this year. So their defense has been tightened up wonderfully. Gregor Smith down again here. You wonder if his race might be run with the way he's holding that right leg again. He will be helped to his feet, and it looks like he's done for the day as Gregor Smith as he limps off, and it looks like Hamish Ogden about to come in for the Highlanders. The number 22 putting his jersey on there on the far side, about to come in, the tricky midfielder. The Harbourside team will get some fluids here as the water bottle came onto the pitch, and Bahari tried to give it to Chitani there, but the referee ushers him off the pitch to get that water back to the sideline. Here's Bahari, flicks it on for Bagiopoulos. Foul there by Rogozinski on Bahari. So free kick for Harbourside just inside the Highlanders half here. Hamish Ogden does come in for Gregor Smith. He received some attention in that far table. Ball lifted in by Bagiopoulos towards the 18, knocked down just off the boot of Francisco Bartolillo. Beaten to it by McKinty. A lively McKinty here today for Harbourside team that's looking to get back in this game. Long lifted ball from Tinmouth. Way by Ogden. Ando trying to get there first to the Highlanders. He will ahead of Chitani here. A foul on Chitani. Him and Ando got tangled up. Free kick for Kencho Ando. The right side for Hamish Ogden, the sub just then for Smith. Ogden has to run to that ball forward from Ando, but Harbourside deal with it. Rogozinski keeps it up the right side. Throw in for McGog up the left side for Chitani. All the way back for Fergus Hall. Wearing the captain's armband after Marassa left after halftime. Perfectly weighted ball through from Hall for Tinmouth here, trying to keep it in as Brooks was defending. And it did end up going out here for a goal kick for Daniel Zadravic. 10 minutes to go here on this Sunday afternoon from Vancouver Island. Victoria Highlanders hold a 1-0 lead over the Harbourside. And lots of time left here, but you feel like the clock is ticking in the mind of Kevin Lindo. Not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs as the top 4 teams making the League 1 BC men's standings, but it's also about setting themselves up for last year, and I talked about that with them. You wanted to say this week that the fans have been very good this year. They want to play attacking football towards the end of the year and make fans hungry to come back for more next year at Kinnistuck Stadium. Just want to keep a positive mindset, does Kevin Lindo's Harbourside Football Club, as they're about to make a couple of subs as well to try and turn the tides in their way. So look at Francesco Bartolello, a part player, part coach with this Highlanders team. 5 years at UNBC, 69 games played and starts, 16 goals, 9 assists, 4 game-winning goals as well. 4 seasons in the USL PDL as well with the Highlanders. And Tucson as McKinty is out for the for Harbourside, the number 2. And Bagiopoulos' day is over, the number 10. Coming in for Harbourside is Declan Brown for Jordan McKinty. And in comes big Owen Declan. Henman is up there, bounce past Fergus Hall. Away by Brown as Henman went down in some discomfort there. Here's Bahari attacking, right to the feet of Rogozinski up the side for Ando. Now Ogden plays it to the Harbourside half. Weir to his left. Ball left for Tinmouth, but Brooks is right there, and the Highlanders will try and come the other way. Greaves now doesn't have the numbers for it. Highlanders not committing too much forward, but Greaves will find Keyshawn Brooks. Here's Bartolello. Back for Gordon Hall. Quickly ahead to the right side for Cody Gisbers. Now Rogozinski. Gordon Hall for Jonathan Walter. Walter for Rogozinski inside the Harbourside half. There's Ando. Overlapping run from Ogden. Great layoff from Ando for Ogden. Pulls it back for Rogozinski to try and make it 2 in the day. Finds Bartolello inside the Harbourside box, and his strike was not weighted perfectly. Went wide right. Ando for Greaves from distance. Walter as the Highlanders set up in the attacking half. This is what they want to do in the next 7 minutes plus added time. Here is Ogden for Ando. Now Jonathan Walter for the Highlanders. Finds Kobe Greaves. Now Gordon Hall. Channeled for beautifully from Walter. Ando lost it. Now Walter to the right side for Rogozinski. Now Hamish Ogden for the Highlanders. Nice move to the outside. Ogden trying to play one back across, still keeping his run going. Ogden, beautifully done. Hamish Ogden for the Highlanders. Blocked well by the Harbourside defender, Chitani, and grabbed by Weir. Tricky play, though, from the UVic Vikings this past season. Hamish Ogden, 10 games played, 5 starts, 1 goal, 1 assist with UVic. Was a part of the FTF Combine a few years ago, scouted out then as a much younger player. Was excellent this year for the UVic Vikes here at this stadium, Centennial Stadium, and on the road in Canada West, men's soccer. It's a very tricky player. Here's Tinmouth, watched by his opposite to number 22 in Ogden. Ball switched here to Fergus Hall. Here's Bahari from distance for Harbourside. Trying to channel it ahead there for the sub, Owen Tagelman. Tinmouth found Tagelman. Now Fergus Hall for Chitani. The 1-2 between Bahari and Purcell. Harbourside bench wanted a foul. They won't get one. Here's Greaves now trying to win that ball. Well, one back though by Chitani. Now Tinmouth or Purcell. Play goes on here for Harbourside. Back heel from Purcell for Tinmouth. Blocked by Gordon Hall, but one back well by Tinmouth for Purcell. Little Maradona move. Back across, grab by Zadravic, and he had to make that save with a couple of Harbourside players lurking as Chitani down in some discomfort here midfield for Harbourside. Make that Suka Bahari the number 7. And the Harbourside trainer will come out here momentarily, it looks like. Will be the Highlanders trainer, make that to come out and check on Bahari. There's been a few of those today with the heat. A couple players cramping now, as you see in the screen in the 86th. Never easy to play in these conditions. Yes, it is 20 degrees, but much warmer down pitch side in the sun. Bahari receiving some attention. He's been a key part of this Harbourside team this season. 3 goals to his name. He's pretty much the first name on the team sheet for any head coach, I'm sure, the way he plays. Gives a thumbs up to the bench. He wants to continue, that's for sure. Bahari slowly to his feet here. Get some hydration from Ambrose Tinmouth, and I wonder how much time that's going to add onto the clock here as Harbourside will indeed make a sub. As Charlie Purcell comes off, the number 16. And then comes Daniel Tume Saru, the number 4. Played in the 5th level Italian soccer for ASL Real Guglielmessi. Looks to be setting up in Purcell's position here as a defensive mid, as Zadravic will take the drop ball from the referee and just kill some time off the clock. Very surprised we haven't seen Taylor Arbor yet for Harbourside, the big striker. Played 5 years at the VIU Mariners. 2019 PAC silver medalist. Current assistant coach and trainer as well with the VIU. So a Swiss Army knife as big Taylor Arbor looks to be getting some late run-ins here for Harbourside. Greaves for Bartolillo on the right side. Keeps it up the right wing does Bartolillo. Trying to find Henman on the half turn, but it's right to Chitani of Harbourside. Here's Declan Brown, away by Ando. Ogden there, Ando little 1-2. It's back for Saru, who did a good job to win it, but Ogden did well to win the war there in that midfield opportunity. Now Walter out wide right for Bartolillo. Henman on the turn. Good day for him physically in this type of game. Suits him, really does Michael Henman, the big striker. Here's Saru. Ambrose Tinmouth now for Harbourside. Finds Chitani. Now Saru for the visitors. Chitani. Ambrose Tinmouth as we approach the 90th here. Harbourside looking creative going forward. Tinmouth effort towards goal. A grab by Zadravic. Well received by the Highlanders faithful here at Centennial Stadium. And a brave grab by their keeper, Daniel Zadravic. It's a Heavy strike from the middle by Tinmouth, who's been man of the match. 1 of 2 on the day for Harbourside. Him and Cal Weir have been excellent. Nice 1-2 between Walter and Ogden. Hemman making the run. Ogden not much on form here. Rogozinski out wide right for Bartolillo. Here's Bartolillo all the way back here. Played away by Zadravic. Up there's Cal Weir to grab it for Harbourside. Plays it quickly onto the deck here, trying to keep it going. 90th minute here at Centennial Stadium. 6 minutes to be added on. Can Harbourside combat this 1-0 score? Their island rival here leads them in a second-minute effort from Jonathan Walters, third of the year, the difference. But I've really liked the way Harbourside has played ever since that goal. Here is Greaves. Nice turn in this near side. Watch closely by Dagelman. Now Gordon Hall back for Zadravic here. Highlanders looking to just keep the ball and not give it away. Hemman perfectly read that ball. It will be a foul, though, as Hemman tried an effort, and he might get a card for that late strike. Yes, he will. Michael Hemman, third card of the day for the Highlanders, as Hemman had a late volley after the whistle was blown dead, and usually referees won't be happy with that. A little delay of game tactics by Michael Hemman, but 5 minutes to go in this added time. Fergus Hall standing over the ball here for Kevin Lindos. Harbourside trying to get rid of it quickly. Visitors just piling up the Highlanders' edge of the box here. Fergus Hall will let it run here for Weir. He's got that big right foot to take this delivery. Good delivery on him. Weir shapes it up towards the 18. Counted down by Ogden, away by Kobe Greaves. Hemman trying to get there first out of Weir. And Cal Weir does have to get there first for Harbourside. It would have been an open goal for Hemman in behind the Harbourside keeper if that opportunity presented itself. As Taylor Arbor just came onto the pitch for Harbourside, finds Bahari. Arbor back for Bahari. Offside, flag goes up from this near touchline. Despite the 1-2 look from Arbor and Bahari, the two guys you'd expect to get the equalizer here, or at least play a part in it for Harbourside. Goal kick here for Zadravic. Bartolillo up the right side. It will be a throw in here for Victoria. Bartolillo over to take the veteran. Bartolillo over the top. Ogden trying to get there first for the Highlanders. Hamish Ogden hooks it back for Hemman. Up in the air by Brown, not away. Hemman, nice touch off the right foot and cleared away by Fergus Hall. Danger not over though for Harbourside as they will now collect this second opportunity. Here is Brown up this right side trying to clip it into the Highlanders half, but nobody there. Arbor was just behind the play. And now it's Zadravic. Zadravic, long ball forward for Ogden. Just over the head of Brown, away by Fergus Hall. We like the way Harbourside tracks down the ball when they lose it. Same with the Highlanders. It's been that tenacious type of game in the battle in midfield and out wide as well. Rogozinski will push it out of play in that right side. Here's Chitani. Saru now finding Suka Bahari. He'll shape one out from distance. Bahari deflected right at Zadravic as he let it bounce, and right on his heels there was Owen Dagelman trying to get the second bounce and maybe tie the game, but Zadravic with some professional timekeeping or time wasting make that as the Highlanders keeper sets his team up on the left side. Brooks now for Ogden on the overlap. Ogden 1-1 against Declan Brown. Right to the foot of Keyshawn Brooks. Temporarily kept in by the Harbourside at number 18. Owen Dagelman, the striker who was initially up front before Taylor Arbor came in, and now he's occupying a right wing role as Dagelman. Here is Hemman. Throw now for Keyshawn Brooks up this left channel. So look at Michael Hemman, goalless on the day, but he's been in a very good battle with Fergus Hall. Sure he'll be tired by the end of this one. As Brooks throws it into Hamish Ogden, nice turn. Ogden finds Walter, can he double the lead here? Walter, beautiful move, but it was read by Sorrow, back for Ogden. Now Walter, Ogden to his right making the run. Ogden, good touch, Hamish Ogden to the attacking area, and that's picked up well by Harbourside. They'll try and set themselves away, but Greaves reads that one well. Kobe Greaves fouled there by Tinmouth. Make that a yellow card for Sorrow, who is in the same position as Tinmouth. It was a double foul. Sorrow wasn't happy, had a word for the referee, who waved him away right away. There's a look at Daniel Tume. Sorrow, who is the one that foul there, as mentioned, professional experience overseas in Italy. Ando for the Highlanders to the right side. A white to the feet, though, of Mowbray Beacon. Tackled away by Rogozinski. Throw now for Beacon. Back for Chitani. Referee checks his watch. Can't be much time late. Added on here. Grab by Zadravic. Dravic delivers this one for the Highlanders up towards Greaves. Routed down bravely by Fergus Hall. Nice touch to the wide area for Ambrose Tinmouth. Excellent day for him. Great tackle, though, by Brooks. Harbourside trying to get a quick throw in here. Tinmouth with the throw. Away by Greaves for Hemman. Bravely done by the midfielder. Now Hemman off to the races here. Ogden running with them, trying to play it through for Ogden on the overlap, but Hall will just let it go back to Weir, who's going to try and push his team forward, but he won't have enough time. And a massive win for the Highlanders. 3 straight shutouts and clean sheets for the home side today. 3 straight wins as well. And they go top of the League 1 BC standings again, equal with the TSS Rovers, who lead on goal differential. But good day at the office again for Steve Simonson's Highlanders. Maybe didn't have as many goals as they would have liked, as Jonathan Walter mentioned, but a good effort by Cal Weir in the Harbourside goal, and pretty good effort as well from Daniel Zadravic in the Highlanders goal. Keeps his 3rd straight clean sheet, 3rd straight team as well that has started the game for Steve Simonson's squad, and fully deserved for their 1-0 win today, but have to really like the Harbourside team again. He's mentioned before the game by Kevin Lindo that any team in this league could beat any team on any given day, and you felt like that was the case today. Harbourside really had a chance to come back at this game when it was 1-0 in the second minute, mind you. 88 minutes to try and equalize, really 94 if you add on the 6 at the end of the 90 minutes. So they didn't have a lack of chances, did Harbourside, but Daniel Zadravic was equal to the task in the Victoria Highlanders goal. As the Highlanders are going to be at home for 2 of the next 3. They host Altitude next Sunday, at Altitude the following Sunday, and then at home on Saturday, July 22nd to take on the TSS Rovers in what could be a pivotal top-of-the-table clash. So both teams finishing the regular season League 1 British Columbia with a couple of home games and a couple key ones as well for the Highlanders, who now have 23 points tied atop the standings with the TSS Rovers, who as well have the lead on goal differential. But a big day for Victoria Highlanders, and even bigger day for Daniel Zadravic in the Highlanders goal. He's joined by Gurpreet Cambo on the sidelines here from Centennial Stadium.
Okay, so I'm here with Daniel Zadravec, number 1. He's the goalie for the Highlanders. And so you made a huge save pretty close to the end of the game, so it was 1-0 for your team. And if you hadn't been able to make that save, it would have been 1-1, a tie game. So tell us, give us a recap. How did you position yourself to make that save?
On that one, just kind of basically tracking around top of the box. It was a bit tougher because we did have 8 or 9 guys in the way, so it was a bit tough to keep positioned after the shot went. But just on those types of shots, it's very much just staying in the center of the net, just trying to take out the shot straight to goal. So just trying to cover that first angle, and then after that, just trying to get through on the rebounds, because I think it did take a touch off my defender's legs. So just basically having to react to that too.
And so the playoffs are coming up. So, how do you feel about your team's chances in the upcoming playoffs?
Good, I think. We've been playing well our last couple of games, and even at practice and stuff, it just felt like we've been playing quite well. And I think the biggest thing was we've been playing not as just a bunch of individuals, which a bit at the beginning of the year we did that just because we didn't have all that time to play together. But now at this point we are playing as a team, and we know how to play with each other and off each other. So I'm very excited going to the playoffs. I think it'll be good for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was our Gurdeep Cambo, joined by Daniel Zadravec, who is very good on the day for the Highlanders. They shut out Harbourside 1-0 in the final installment of this Island versus Island matchup in League 1 BC. There's a goal from Jonathan Walter. That was all the way back in the second minute. A great performance from goalkeepers. It was a goalkeeper's day here at Centennial Stadium on this Canada Day long weekend, as the Highlanders defeat Harbourside 1-0 and go joint top of League 1 BC. Our next feature match is July 15th at Chase Office Field in Langley between Unity and the Whitecaps. 1 and 3:30 kickoffs. Women's at 1, men at 3:30. Thanks to Roll Focus for their production today. And your final score: Victoria Highlanders 1, Harbourside FC 0. This has been League 1 BC Feature Match on YouTube and TELUS Optic TV. Have a great rest of your Canada Day long weekend.